Good day. I hope that you're well, and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 8 English lesson on titles. And before we start, on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 8. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of titles. All right, so our chapter is titles. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 8. And then the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapters is capitalizing titles. And we're going to be formatting titles. All right, so when it comes to titles, right, then we specifically think of maybe titles of books, titles of poems, titles of songs, articles, and so on, right? And when it comes to our titles, then we need to, there's certain things or certain words within the title that we need to capitalize. Or let's say certain important words that we need to capitalize. And we say that there's certain words that you're going to have to capitalize when it comes to titles. Title, we the first word of a sentence. We need to capitalize the last word of the sentence, or let's say of the title, not the sentence, the title, and every other important word in between within that title we need to capitalize. And if we look at an example of, let's say, a title, and also how we can identify the words within the title that we can capitalize, then we can say that this example says, the wind in the willows. So the wind in the willows. The wind in the willows title, right? Remember we said that we need to capitalize the first word of the title. We need to capitalize the last word of the title. Important word in between and we need to capitalize. So every other word that is in between that we need to capitalize is, for example, then just wind. Because now the title, the wind in the willows. Wind. So wind is also a word that is to capitalize. And if you look at the words that is a left, which is in and the, right? Remember we said that we only capitalize the first word, the last word, and every other word, every other important word. Same with James and the giant peach. James is the first. So James is the first word of the title. If we identify the last word of the title, then it's peach. And the important word identify is giant. So giant peach. James is the first word that we need to basically capitalize. Peach is the of the title that we need to capitalize. And then giant, because what type of peach is a giant peach? We need to capitalize. All right. So certain words that we did not underline that wasn't identified within that sentences, right? Because we basically only identified the important words, which is the first word of the title, the last word of the title, and the important words in between the last word and the first word. But now not important. So the words that are not important within the title are articles. Articles are words such as a and the. Those are words that we do not capitalize unless it is the first word of the sentence of the title. Words that are also not important within a title is short prepositions. And short prepositions are words such as like, for, in, of, on, to, and up. Those are we do not. That is actually not an important word unless that word is the first word of the title. And also, words that are title that we do not capitalize is coordinating conjunctions. And coordinating conjunctions are words such as and, but, or even so. Those are coordinating conjunctions. So we do not capitalize those words unless it is the first word of the title. All right. So once again, when it comes to titles, right, we see that in a title, we need to capitalize the first word of the title, we capitalize the last word of the title, and we also capitalize every other important word in between. We do not capitalize articles, we do not capitalize short prepositions, and we do not capitalize coordinating conjunctions. Those words are not important in titles. The only time we capitalize either articles, short prepositions, or coordinating conjunctions, it's if the words are the first word of the title. So if it is written as the first word of the title, then by all means we capitalize it because remember the start of a sentence or a title needs to be capitalized. But a and the, which is articles, we do not capitalize. At, in, of, on, to, up, which is your short prepositions, we do not capitalize. And words such as and, but, or, so, those are coordinating conjunctions, not capitalize. All right, and if we look at more titles, right, you have titles of books, you have titles of movies, titles of poems, titles of songs, articles, short plays, and so on. So when it comes to certain titles, right, we either gonna have to write it in print, italics, to know how to write it, especially if you were a review on something. If you were to write a review either on a book or an article or so on, then you need to know, okay, if I'm typing it, then I need to either type it in italics, or if I'm writing it, then I need to write it a certain way. All right, and when it comes to titles of books, titles of movies, titles of plays, TV shows, magazines, authors, right? When you are either reading or typing, about to do a review on either a book, play, a TV show, magazine, or newspaper, then it means that it needs to be underlined. That is if you are typing or writing, but we can say it also needs to be in if you are typing only. All right. And then we also have titles of a poem, titles of songs, articles, and short stories. These titles, which is a poem, a song, article, or short stories, it should be in quotation marks. Once you start writing a review on any of this, then it needs to be in quotation marks. So basically, titles of poems, songs, articles, and short stories. We need to keep that in mind. It should be in quotation marks. Still, the first word is capitalized, the last word is capitalized, and every important word in between is capitalized. However, we need to, this is basically the style in which you're writing, the format of the titles. All right. And before we go to aplusstudents.ca, just a quick recap. We see that when it comes to titles, then we need to capitalize the first word of a title. We capitalize the last word of a title, and we also capitalize every important word in between. If there's words that are not important, it's words just your articles, a and the, your preposition, your short prepositions, which is at, by, for, in, of, on, to, up, as well as the coordinating conjunction, which is and, but, or, so. And then when it comes to the titles, right, there's different ways in which if you were to write a review, for example, it out freehand or typing it, is that you need to write it. So for example, if you were to write a review on the title of a book, a movie, a play, TV show, magazine, or even a newspaper, then it needs to be underlined. But if you are typing it only, and then you can write it in italics. And then we have your titles for either writing a poem, a song, article, short story that needs. we see the titles of books and movies and plays and TV shows, magazines, news, or written in italics, and in titles of poems, song, articles, and short stories should be in quotation marks. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca. We are going to capitalize titles as well as format titles. Happy New Year to you too. All right, so now we're at aplusstudents.ca and we're going to focus on capitalizing titles as well as formatting titles. All right, so when we are capitalizing titles, then we see that title we need to, as the first word of a title, the last word of a title, and every important word in between. Recap that articles and the it is not important. Your short preposition such as at, by, in, of, on, to, up, it is not important, as well as coordinating conjunctions such as and, but, or, so, it is not important. All right. So already we went over how to, let's say, basic capitalize, what you need to capitalize, what are the important words and what are words that are not as important, right? So we're going to be capitalizing titles. So we need to say which curriculum of a magazine. Is it and driver? Or is it small little car and driver? We need to say which words shows the title of a magazine. Car and driver, which is the first option, capital letter car. Second option, which is small letter for car and driver. And if we were to identify the correct, that correctly shows the title of a magazine, then we'll go with option one, which is capital letter, which is your first word, car, word, drive. So drive and car is correct. Capitalized. We need to say which correctly shows a woman. A poem. No man is an island. A poem. Isn't the first option inverted commas, no man is an island? Or the second option, also inverted commas, no man is an second option has got no capital as the first word has capitals. if we were to choose the correct option, we will go with just no man is an island. We basically capital the last word, which is island, and every other word in between, which is man, that we capitalized. All right. Right. The last one, and then we're going to our test. It says we need to say which title of a poem. So the title of a poem. Talk to animals. Animals. So the title of the poem, Talk to the Animals, capitalized. Or is it the second option, which is talk to animals? Look at the first word, look at the last word, look at every important word in between. All right, so to correctly show the title of a poem, they will go with option two, which is the first word is capitalized, the last word is capitalized. So talk to animals. Well done. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to capitalize our titles. Begin our test where we're going to capitalize titles, capitalizing titles. All right, so we the title of a book. Is it option one, Rain, Shine, or Snow, or option two, Rain, Shine, or Snow? We need to choose the correct option that shows the title of a book. The title of a book. All right, and if we were to by the title of the book, then we will go with option two. The first word is capitalized, the last word is, which is an important word also, is capitalized. Wow. Also, where we need to say which one shows the title of a play, Big Bad and Little Red, or option two, Big Bad and Little Red. Which one is correct? Look at the words that are capitalized. And remember, the first word is capitalized, the last word, and every important word in between needs to be capitalized. All right, and if we want to correctly show the title of a play, then we'll go with option one. Capitalize. The last word is capitalized, in between is capitalized. All right. The next is the title of a newspaper. The title of a newspaper, option for option two. Title of a newspaper. And if we were to select the correct title of the newspaper, then we'll go with option one. News, Sun, and Everything Star. Our first word is capitalized in every other word in between, every important word in between. We show the title of a poem. The title of a poem. Is it option one, talk to animals? Option two, talk to animals. We need to choose the correct option. All right, so we need to say which correctly shows the title of a poem. We find option two, talk to animals. The first word is capitalized and the last word is capitalized. Talk as well as animals. All right, then the last one says, which correctly shows that the show, a TV show, is the first option or the second option, The Adventures of Chuck and Friends. The Adventures of Chuck and Friends. And if we were to identify the correct, we'll go with option one, which is the first word is capitalized, the last word is capitalized. Adventure and Chuck, which is important words, are also capitalized. All right, so now we're going to be formatting titles. And remember, we said that we have titles of a book, a movie, a play, a TV show, and a newspaper article, and that needs to, or it needs to be in italics. And then we have titles of poems, stories should be in quotation marks. All right, so now we're going to identify we're going to test and we're going to format the titles. It says which correctly shows the title of a TV show. Is it option one, inverted commas, option 2. All right, correctly shows the title of a TV show. We need to identify the title of. Is it option 1 or option 2? Then we will identify our title of our TV show. Option 2, no inverted commas. We need to correctly show the title of a song. Is it option 1, black and white, which is inverted commas, 2, black or white? A title. So we need to correctly show the title of a song. Is it option 1, black or white, or option. And if we were to choose the correct title song, and then we'll choose inverted commas. Well done. All right, we need to correctly show the title of a newspaper. Is it option 1 or option 2 with inverted commas? Newspaper article. All right, and if we were to identify the title of a newspaper, is it option one with no inverted commas, or option two with inverted commas, News, Sun, and Everything Star? And if we were to choose the correct option, News, Sun, Evening Star. All right, title, we will choose option one, News, Sun, and Evening Star. I thought it's Evening Star. Evening Star. All right, and if you look at the last one, it says, which correctly shows the title of a magazine? Is it option one, the book, The Open Road for Boys, or option two, The Open Road for Boys in Magazine? So we need to say which shows the title of a magazine. And we will go with option one, the open road, sorry, for boys. So the open roads for boys. All right, so this is the end of our lesson on titles. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. And I really hope you're going to have a good day further. So, till next time, goodbye.